Hello and welcome. This is Jessica Loper here for your weekly energy update, the week of June 23rd. And we have our new moon coming up on Wednesday, so the 25th. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So it is new moon in Cancer. So if you're listening to this at the beginning of the week, we're in that dark moon phase, which is just a good time to really focus on that internal care, self-care, paying attention to your emotions. We did just have our summer solstice. I don't know about you, but where I am, we had a couple cold days, cold and windy days for summer right after summer solstice. But so that was kind of interesting. But so with the summer solstice, we were tapping into this energy of dreaming bigger and just kind of like that magical energy and a reset, moving into a new cycle. So that can feel exciting. You may have had some opportunities or maybe even some internal shifts or some good aha moments this past week, but we kind of got to go back inside, and by inside I mean just like focusing on that internal work, that self-care. So just take a step back for a couple days, and just kind of reevaluate, reflect, and pay attention to your nervous system and grounding, taking care of yourself, because there is always a little bit of that shedding right before new moon. I can't say that this happens every month, but it seems like a day or two before new moon, it is not uncommon for me just to need to cry or feel my emotions. Like it seems like there's almost always something that comes up that just needs to be felt. And it does feel supportive to know that it's just a part of the process. We're just cleansing. Okay, so that's just my experience, but it usually just feels like a good release. So then moving into new moon, we can kind of tap back into maybe some of that energy we were feeling around summer solstice of just, dreaming bigger. So kind of revisit those dreams. So I would invite you around Wednesday or Thursday to just revisit anything that you noted or felt around summer solstice. If you journaled, maybe go back and read what you journaled. Or if you've had those new ideas or those big dreams coming to you, just take some time to contemplate them and, think about the future. It's a good time to think about the future, this version of ourselves that we're stepping into. I did mention last week that it is a time where the planet as a whole is shifting consciously, or not consciously, what's the word I'm looking for? Or consciousness is shifting, I guess is what I meant. Sorry, got my words jumbled up a bit there. But we're also, like, if you're someone listening to this, you're also someone who is noticing patterns. Okay, you're noticing more patterns within yourself and also probably with those around you. Maybe you're able to have more grace for other people and where they're at, what they're experiencing. But remember to have grace with yourself as well. Because sometimes we notice the patterns and they don't always change immediately. So just kind of give yourself some grace there, and acknowledge that even having the awareness around something is part of the process and is a good step. And yeah, it can be a good time this week to just kind of tune into this version of yourself that you're stepping into, and how does this version of yourself align? Who do you need to be to fulfill these big dreams that you have? Okay, so I also pulled a couple cards. We have a card from Oracle of the Seven Energies by Colette Baron Reed, and then I have a card from the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. So our Oracle of the Seven Energies is giving us a chakra to work with, and the card pulled is Ears Wide Open. Okay, ears wide open. This is connected to the throat chakra. Oftentimes, throat chakra, we think of speaking up, speaking our truth. But this card is actually more around listening. So that's an aspect of the throat chakra that maybe we kind of forget about. But the throat chakra, having that balanced throat chakra, it's not just about speaking, it's also about listening. Okay. And that balance between speaking and listening. So this card, it's inviting you this week to pay attention to listening. And I wanted to read one little part that stood out to me from this card. It says, deep listening is the way in which we immerse ourselves in the truth of the world. In this way, with ears wide open, we also open our hearts and minds to understand more than what is conveyed through words alone. Purposeful, open listening is an act of true respect and intimacy. Okay, so, and also, I mean, there is a lot going on in the world and a lot of opinions out there. So it's just, we don't always have to argue or, wait for, sometimes we get in this habit of listening to respond rather than listening to just understand, right? So this week, listen to understand, maybe be open to some other perspectives and listen with your heart, regardless of what people are saying or the news or the media or whatever. Like, what do you feel in your heart about what's going on? Okay. So that is that card. And the next one is integrating the ego. Okay. So when we talk about integrating the ego, I'm not talking about like someone that has an inflated ego, right? They're like overly confident or cocky or something, right? We're talking about the ego in the sense of that dormant part of the soul. Okay. So that dormant part of your soul that is here to teach you, your ego is here to help you. It's here to teach you. And we are all moving through this process of integrating the ego. Okay, what are you learning? What is those moments where you know you're in your ego, like what is it teaching you? And if you can notice when you're in your ego, that is a powerful step as well, just to even notice like, oh, yeah, I'm in my ego a bit, right? Because that's just part of the human experience. We all get in our ego sometimes. But this card is about integrating the ego, reminding you that everything is for you, not against you. And this says, when your ego is integrated, there are no problems to fix or questions to answer. There are just the aligned responses of the soul's reality, acknowledging life as fertile ground where greater expansion is revealed. As you integrate your ego, every moment can be seen to be conspiring for your highest evolution instead of plotting against you. This mantra is ideal for overcoming victimhood, being more grateful, and becoming more forgiving. I think letting go of victimhood is something that has come up for me quite a bit over the years. Letting go of that addiction to struggle, allowing more to come in, allowing more healing, allowing more abundance, opportunities. So yeah, that kind of goes hand in hand with that. And that is part of the ego integration, I feel like. And I feel like this goes along well with listening, right? Because that need to like respond to everything right away instead of listening, that's your ego. Okay. So just a reminder for this week, remember to listen deeply. All right. And I will be back next week. Hopefully this was helpful. So thank you for liking this and following so that you get next week's update. Take care.